Ladies and gentlemen, as we have been telling you all these days, we are live here in Seattle. Our guests have returned or have come here from the Gambia. They've been to Atlanta, New York, Texas. As we told you, it's a tour of the United States. And Seattle, we always rep. Our people are here to talk to us about the investment opportunity. We know what it is, where you can invest your money, and of course, be contributing to national development.
Thank you very much, Pa. We are really very pleased to be in Seattle here to come and meet our fellow countrymen, to talk to them as is already being advertised as far as this golden opportunity is concerned for all of us to invest in the development of our country in terms of investing in this toll road from Sting Corner to Abuko to Mandinaba. I think this is a golden opportunity, and as already advertised, we look forward to seeing you on the 8th. That's on Friday at 5:30 at the event center. Thank you, Pa, for all the efforts.
Washington West African Community Hall at the on 36th Avenue in Linwood next to Bantaba Restaurant, Friday from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. We have free food and refreshment for you, so come on over and meet them.
We have the first deputy governor of the central bank. We have the permanent secretary ministry of finance, the permanent secretary ministry of public service. We have the permanent secretary ministry of transport. We have the managing director, National Roads Authority. We also have the ambassador joining us on this tour. We also have myself and my colleague from the Development Finance Department at the Central Bank of the Gambia. And we also have the CEO of AmCham, our partner, who is facilitating this tour to the United States.
Gambian ambassador to the United States will be here together with this high-powered delegation from Banjul. Be there or nowhere. Remember, it's Friday, the 8th, from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. We have free food for you. Thank you.
Tampa mu ngi jóge ko from Sting Corner be Mandinaba. Waaye Sting Corner be Mandinaba dina am exits tamit pour dem ñoom Lamin ñoom Abuko, so yoon bi na am exits. So the intention mooy yoon bi dañ koo tóol because dañ bugga yoon boo xam ne dafa ju xaalis ba pare nga use loolu noonu pour mun a pay back any investment boo xam ne nit daf ko war dugal. So the idea mooy to create a company mooy normally ëllëg soo demee si meeting bi xëy na di nga dégg SPV. Waaye SPV mooy any private company, right? We ñoo create, so dafa nekk responsibility private company boobu noonu pour manage yoon bi si boppam. Ñoom ñooy tool yoon bi, ñoom ñooy bugg di collect lifin bi proceed si tool bi, ba pare ñoom ñooy bugg di neen am board of directors. It's going to be a proper company. Neen am seen board of directors, na am annual shareholders meeting pour xam everything lan moo nekk di dox si company bi. Kon tamit mooy bugg di declare dividend payments to any of the investors ñoo xam ne dugal leen fa seen xaalis. Ba pare tamit the same company tamit because shareholdings la ku bugg a exit anytime government na create environment boobu nga xam ne that market boo xam ne nit ki dina mun a exit soo ko buggee offload di nga ko mun a offload ay da nga jaay ko keneen soo amul ko jaay government create neen vehicle boo xam ne they can buy back from you. Or understand nga so but because any market boo xam ne is not deep, like a deep market boo xam ne nit ñi cannot effectively trade in that commodity, then xam nga dina create a lot of uncertainties, especially si koo xam ne moo fa dugal invest alifam. So right now dañ nekk on a roadshow pour won nit ñi ne what we intend to do. Very soon the project will be launched. Why jàppaguñ any specific date? Because there are a couple of things yoo xam ne government is trying to farm up those details ak institutional arrangements. So ci loolu la nekk project bi currently ñu ngi ko estimate around 153 million million US dollars. So dañ ko tool so da nga gis ne even suñ la waxee Senegambia bridge bi lu mu dee generate is a lot of money boo xam ne currently then create an SPV which is a company boo xam ne moom moo responsible pour collect toll proceeds yi. Senegambia Bridge bi asset bi si boppam luñ def mooy is the O&M, the operation and management of the bridge. loolu leen jox Africa 50. So ñoom ñooy manage O&M, operation and management of the bridge for the duration of the concession. While B is a slightly different arrangement. We want Gambians both at home and in the diaspora for any investment yuñ bugga suñ amee any in a viable project. We are trying to sell this one. This one is an opportunity boo xam ne we are making it open to all Gambians, whether you are at home or in the diaspora. So this is why we are here, to sensitize the diaspora about the objective of this initiative and what kind of opportunities they can invest in to generate, that would generate some returns for them. In other words, why creating an environment we go tamit if you buy a stock, you can trade in that stock. Mun nga koo jaay nit, a colleague or any other person koo xam ne mu ngi si market bi am na ci interest war na koo jënda, mun na koo jënda. But there is a fallback arrangement, so amul tamit foo ko offload, government would be ready through the central bank to buy it, and also that can be resold to any other interested in investor. So this is the whole idea about the project. Currently, we have some other interested financiers also. We have a lot of financiers who Kobuga invest in. Some of them are institutional investors in the Gambia and outside the Gambia. Some of them is, we have like the Africa Finance Corporation. We also have some even contractors who volunteer who have investment, we pay money on their own. Yes, I'm not new express interest in it. Therefore, why the way we want to structure it, they can go open up. So, if a musibuga interest, then an opportunity to invest in it, and then create environment with determined kubuga exit tamit. That facility is there to ngamunko offload to exit. You have got nit ki ku nekk tam mun nga invest 2, 3, 5 years down the line nga am yeneen soxla and you want to move out, exit. So then create that environment tamit fi ko nit ki di mun a jaay ay da mun nga koo jaay or investors yu buga duga or su fekkee ne bunta yooyu yëpp tëj neen, government will be willing to buy it and also offload it to any other person also who is interested, either an individual or institutional investor bu si am interest. Yow moo tax foog environment su ko defee nit ki tamit soo duggee si dara soo si buggee génna tamit dina yomba pour nga mun a génna. So project bi moom suñ mission bi fii mooy pour yëgal nit ñi about this intention. It will be coming very soon. Bëggu ñu loñ ko nit ñi wax ne yëguñ ko. You understand? Yeah. So
who is it through? Is it through central bank or?
Well, those details we will come to those specific details.
Okay.
Because yëpp dafa dem through that company.
The special purpose vehicle.
Wow, mooy a special purpose waaye through that company na am managing director, board of directors. So anything that is any funding arrangement dafa am pour them through that company. Wow.
So basically what he's saying is, in terms of the governance structure, this company will be set up.
Yes.
Special purpose vehicle. And the shareholders will manage the SPV through a board of directors.
Okay.
And the shareholders will be represented on the board of directors. So they will make the decisions as to how the SPV is going to be managed, how it is going to be staffed, and there will be what? There will be meetings, just like any company. There will be annual general meetings, for example, where you make decisions as to who sits on the board, as to looking at the finances, and even in terms of the operations of the toll road. Investors will have the opportunity to view the balances, the account balances at any given time. So you can know how much is in there, how much has gone out, so that it is as transparent as possible. Because the whole idea is to make this a public-private partnership and give Gambians an opportunity. Because otherwise, like he has said, we have a lot of other investors, institutional, both at home and outside, who are interested in investing. But since this is going to generate returns on investment, that is, create wealth, want to give that opportunity to Gambians, wherever they may be, either at home or in the diaspora, so that they have that investment opportunity. And through that, we are all able to invest in the development of our country.
Or audited financial statements at the end of every financial year. Dinen book di publish yoy nonu yep pour one transparently all the financial positions of that company, ñata len lan moy the asset size of the company, how the asset is going, lan moy the income of the company or profit bi ñata len declare di yoy yep dañ ko publish online in si Toy company. Company na its own website nga xamne all that information nen ko make available. Wow. Before then reveal tamit all the proceeds like an income statement, all the profit, all the income you generate in that year or every quarter, all you nañ ko publish.
Because at the end of the day, like, this is a major investment. So if you don't see government around, then it becomes what you start asking the question, will government create that enabling environment for us as shareholders, for us as investors to put our money into this? And that's why we are going with government. This is the Permanent Secretary Ministry of Finance, and we have Permanent Secretary Ministry of Public Service. We have Permanent Secretary Ministry of Works, and the MD, NRA, that's National Roads Authority. Also in that we are working together, and they are here to convince or to really make the case that government is really interested, and government is going to create that enabling environment as we sensitize potential investors. And I think this will be one of its kind in the Gambia. In other countries, like, they've done things like this, but at the end of the day, the returns on investment all goes out. It is not the citizens invest, it's rather people outside. So at the end of the day, whatever is generated, the best that citizens get from it is like the good infrastructure. That's the road, they ride on the road, but it doesn't create wealth for them. But this time around, it will create wealth for us. We will benefit from what? From the use of the infrastructure, that's the road, but we will also be able to generate wealth for ourselves as investors and as Gambians.
Investors ñu si dugal sañ xaalis dinañ gis luy duga ak luy génn yëpp just for transparency. Ba pare company bi ni SPV bi ni comme moom mooy operate bridge bi for toll road bi bypass bi for a specified period moo nekk concession period boobu noonu dem daf ko operate di fay dividend to investors yi ba specified period boobu loolu su jeexee den si la ko door a delloowaat government delloowaat dëkk bi which is government. So bill operate and transfer la moo nekk.
So the only thing we are here for is to inform you, but we will come to all those details because we are studying currently the structure of the SPV and how the duration of that SPV and how it is going to be managed over any duration. Yes, so this is where we are right now. Yeah, and then and we have also potential investors who are willing to finance it 100%. So, but we didn't get to those details yet. That's why I say we are discussing internally on the nature and structure of the SPV and how shares will be calculated and sold, and if there is any minimum investment, we will inform the public about it. But we are discussing it internally. But we'll come back to the public that this is going to be the minimum investment required. Yes.
Everything, and you don't give investors the opportunity to be aware, and then you come back to them and say, we have this and it is ready. because it also, like, this sensitization is very key for people to know about the project and the approach to the project, so that eventually when those minute details or micro details are worked out, it will not be a surprise. You will know that already we've had information around this, and now this is how I can invest, and this is the minimum investment that I can make.
For everyday use, like people traveling every day, or mostly truck users, or there must be like a target market?
It's
just
all category of what? All category of vehicles. Like you look at toll roads here, you look at toll roads in Senegal, any motorized form of transportation, whether that is a motorbicycle, whether that is a car, whether that is a truck,
So
they all
anybody
pay.
who is
Yeah.
passing by
Yeah,
will pay.
users,
Using the
yes.
vehicle.
Yeah.
As far as
Using
using the vehicle and using the road, you're going to what? You're going to pay the toll. Yes.
Any user of
Yeah.
the road will pay the toll.
Yeah, because that's why it's called a toll road. The user charges are the tolls. Yes.
How you seem to be talking quite a bit about the potential investors. What would be your reaction to Gambians who would think that you're just doing this tour as a formality, just to say, oh, definitely we reached out to Gambians, but in reality you will end up giving the investment to outsiders, those companies, the foreigners, because it's widely argued, especially on the Gambian cyberspace, that Gambia is full of everything is given to foreigners, and Gambians will constantly complain about that. So this is not just a tool that you are using just to, cover up to tell Gambians, oh, we reach out. Dem nañ America, dem nañ Angleterre, dem nañ fi, dem nañ fele.
I think look at it, like really, we will not just be doing it for doing its sake, like ticking the box, looking at the energy and the preparation that has gone in terms of what? In terms of this sensitization tour. You will not just do that, or we will not just do that because we want to be seen to be doing it. The approach, and if you look at the documents, it points to a new approach and the option of giving Gambians, whether they are at home or whether they are in the diaspora, that priority and that opportunity. If not, like we're saying, we already have investors who are really interested, and they want to come in and finance this. We could just have sit down there, if this was not the objective, to say, okay, why don't we just work with these people first and then deliver this? But we see the potential that this creates, not just delivering that development dividend. Development dividend means the benefit of the infrastructure, but also the wealth creation aspect of it. And we know once this is done too, it enhances ownership by all of us. Like if you are an investor, she's an investor, and I'm an investor, it enhances the management of the infrastructure. Because anytime you pass, if anything wants to happen to that infrastructure, you feel the pain because it hits your pocket. So you will that will enhance the management. Unlike what is publicly owned by all of us, and we don't have that kind of direct benefit that touches our bottom line, that's the pocket. So we want to make sure that looking at all this, that is why we're spending, all of us, spending, like the government, the central bank, and other partners, spending that time and effort to make sure that we come out here and have that discussion and that sensitization for Gambians, so that they will be positioned to invest in this development project. So it is not just fill in the gap or to say that we just want to do it for doing its sake.
And I'm glad that you have raised this. Yeah. So the reason why we are reaching out is to give Gambians that opportunity first. The first opportunity goes to Gambians. But if there is an investment gap, then you will have to that has to be filled. So then we will provide the next stage, the opportunity for any other potential investor to participate. But if there is no funding gap, that is our preference. Our preference is for Gambians at home and in the diaspora to participate. If there is any investment gap, then we can invite other potential investors to participate, to Gambians. I'm emphasizing Gambians. Gambians means those in the country and Gambians in the diaspora.
How much
Yes.
time are you going to give those Gambians, the Gambians? Because you have the investors who already have probably money sitting somewhere that they just want to put in and flip. But the Gambians may have to struggle, save up, or even sell something to be able to put in. So how much time are you going to give the Gambians to be able to maximize the opportunity to genuinely invest?
I like this question. You're asking a very good question. That's the reason why we are also coming out a bit early to make sure that we don't surprise people. Anybody who is planning around this, you will have, I won't say adequate time, but at least there is some time allocated for planning for this particular investment. So, but just trust me, I would say that the way this one is designed, that's why we call it direct national investment. We didn't even call it foreign direct investment. We call it direct national investment because we are here mainly targeting Gambians. But you have a good question. People may be locked up in other investments, and the turnaround time that might be required for them to participate might be affected. Maybe you cannot unwind other investments to participate on time on this particular investment. And this is the reason also why we are coming out a bit early to inform our Gambians within the country and in the diaspora that this is an investment opportunity that we have. Please think about it or plan ahead, well ahead. So that's the reason why we are coming out early. But
National direct investment.
national direct investment, because the intention is to give preference to our nationals. That is the preference. But if there is a funding gap, then you can invite others to participate. But as I said, this is going to be, people will be holding stocks that can be traded. So others can join later if they want to.
Is how safe is this investment? Because I've been very worried about investing in the Gambia because I haven't seen the discipline in anything that I want to invest in. I haven't seen discipline in people. I've been worried about putting my money somewhere where those who are managing it are not, maybe most probably are not interested in managing it right, or just do not care. Presently, what I'm seeing is very convincing because obviously, I'm seeing discipline and hardworking people coming out here talking to us. But after this stage, after the investment has been made and the road has been built, how safe is it? How can we trust the people to manage it right? Because even right now, where revenue is supposed to come from airports and stuff like that. When I went to Gambia in June, I've seen instances where I've paid the money that is required for me to pay, and I know for sure that the money is not going where it's supposed to go because first off, they're not even offering to give me receipts, and that right there is showing me that I shouldn't trust them. But I just did not want to create drama or be out there making a fool of myself, so I just let it go. But you're usually in instances where this money is going and it's not going to the right place. So if I'm gonna invest my money and I already have this at the back of my mind that not a lot of people should be trusted in Gambia, how safe is my investment?
One thing we raised at the beginning is like this will be owned and operated by the investors, that's the shareholders, through the SPV, which will be managed by a board of directors. And this board of directors will be constituted by the representatives of the investors. So if you look at that, the board is the one that will recruit staff of the SPV, especially the senior, the managerial, the staff of the SPV. And just like any company, they will be given performance contracts. And at the end of the day, the board will have the right, since they have the right to hire, they will also have the right to sanction, the right to terminate employment based on, because the SPV will have its own its own articles of association, which will explicitly state the roles and functions of what? Of the various categories of staff, but most importantly, the board. So at the end of the fact that you're going to employ somebody and it's going to be a performance contract, the person knows that I'm not just going to be to get salary at the end of the month. My being here depends on the performance targets that I have agreed with the board of directors. So I think that should enhance confidence in terms of the management of what? Of the SPV. And since the SPV will be managing the infrastructure, the management of the infrastructure.
That's the reason why we are creating a private company. This will be privately managed, like the likes of Africell you have seen, Romium, Gamcell, how to call it, this, like any other
Even
big,
the banks.
yeah, like any other big company that we are, but they are going to be privately managed. It's not even going to be managed by government. So that's why we are creating the company, and the company will be responsible for recruiting them and managing that investment. It's not going to be publicly managed. Yeah, like what we have in the bridge right now. This is privately managed. So what they did, they have hired a company that will. This is an international company even that is managing that investment itself. So it's going to be a private company, like any other private company you have seen in the country, and they are going to be, that company will be responsible for managing.
That's a press conference. Can you elaborate or tell us more about government's role, to break down the specific role of government in this? Quite frankly, especially for the Gambians in the diaspora, a lot might be concerned about the government and the discipline, to corroborate what Khadija said, for government officials, government participation, and would distance themselves from this. No matter how colorful and great the opportunity is and its benefit, everything you shared sounds great. But the Gambians, especially those in the diaspora, just lack trust for government. I mean, just going by some of what is seen in all the different commissions that have been established in the Gambia from 2017, from city council level, I mean, federal level, at government at every level, is not very convincing. And the current local government commission is the latest issue. So how can you tell the Gambians about the specific role government would play in this, and also, I mean, why they should trust that the government's involvement will just enhance this process and it will be lucrative for them?
Yes, but I think we've already explained that this will be what? This will be a public-private partnership. Its management will be entirely private, through a company that will be established, which we are calling, for convenience, a special purpose vehicle. The board of directors will constitute of the shareholders. The role of the government in this is important, in the sense that, like any mega project, it will have to give what? It will have to give the enabling environment in terms of signing off on any concession. Government will have to what? And the regulations and the laws that will govern its operation. But in terms of the build, operate, and transfer, the government will not what? Will not meddle in that. The government will not directly manage the project. And the government will not be collecting the toll.